Hi guys, my name's Andrew Ogilvie and welcome back to the channel. We're going to play some more Pokemon Leaf Green, and in the last episode we left off, we just fought this trainer here. And we're just going to be making our way down the bike route some more. So I've got a couple of wee things I wanted to speak about, and I'll just crack on, I'll just get straight into it. One of which was, I was actually reading on Facebook a little, it was a little discussion into like how Dratini doesn't, is it Dratini, Dragonite? Oh my god, I can't remember which ones. Aye, Dragonair. How Dragonair and Dragonite don't really like look similar at all. And it was actually a theory that I seen in the comments, and it was some guy had said that there's been sort of speculation that they got the evolutions mixed up. This is something that I found it really interesting. That's why I sort of put it at the very start, because it's Pokemon related. So it started off with him saying that the evolutions were mixed up from Dratini and Magikarp. Magikarp was meant to evolve into Dragonite, and Dragonair was meant to evolve into Gyarados. That's the theory essentially. And where he's got this, like the background knowledge from is, and there's a legend. I'm just reading this. I've got it sitting in front of me while I play this. There's a legend about a fish in Japanese folklore that climbs to the top of a waterfall and becomes a dragon, and that was meant to be Magikarp. So, let me know what you think about that. I think that's like quite cool. Oh, don't need any help. I think that's like quite a cool wee something just sort of to go off of. So like obviously it makes more sense. Like so the more I thought about it, the more I looked into it, the more I went, do you know what? Like it probably should have been that way around. You just look at the fact that Dragonair's a snake and evolves into like a postman. I always remember it being like the post. Oh, Scratch! I shouldn't use Scratch. I always remember it being the postman for the Mewtwo movie, the first Pokemon movie, and he's just obviously flies along and then he stops off at Ash, Misty, and Brock and drops off like an invitation. I think it is an electrical invitation to go and meet all the best Pokemon trainers that have been summoned to this place. But it's something definitely that it got me thinking, and it makes sense in my brain. Obviously, let me know what you think below. But I think it's quite a good wee theory. Also, I don't think that's pretty much all it is. It's just a theory. So that wraps up. That was quite quick. It was just one of those wee things. Like it was fresh. I read it today as well. Like I wanted to speak about it because I've only just seen it like probably a couple of years ago, and it was one of those things that got me thinking, and then I thought, oh, John, I'm going to include it in an episode just because it's something to talk about. Another wee thing I wanted to sort of speak about was holidays. It looks like we're going to be opening back up next month, which is April. April. Like they're saying at the end of April, they're hopefully going to have everything all back to like a level 3 or level 2 restriction. That's in Scotland, so I don't know what it's like in England, but it's good news. It's getting better. We're in the edge of we're the edge yet. The end of the edge. I don't know what I'm speaking about, but we're at the end of it anyway. We're going to come to a point where we're fully out of lockdown, and I don't know what I'm going to be doing, to be honest. I don't know. I'll probably go back to making more post content. Obviously, I'll keep finishing this series. I'll maybe even start a new series with doing this sort of stuff, because I actually really enjoy doing it. It gives me something to rant about. I use it more like a podcast. Like I want to tell you a wee bit more about myself while I play a game, and obviously complete that game. I don't want to just like leave it. Like as soon as lockdown's by, we just stop the game and we've got 7 badges. That would be horrible. There's nothing worse than someone who just like quits a series like straight up. Like quite a lot of like the bigger YouTubers, like, they maybe make 1 episode or 3 or 4 episodes or something, and then that's it. That's the end of it. And I'm like, I was really getting into that. I really liked it. There's nothing more, so I wouldn't do that. I actually want to play a wee bit of the post game as well on this, so it's something to look forward to. Is actually going and exploring is it the Orange Islands? I don't know what they're called in this, but like I always just think they're the Orange Islands because that was what came after the first season, I think. Aye, because Ashby's Lapras. Aye, that's right. I think maybe. I'm not sure. But anyway, aye. So it's one of those things that I really want. It's something I want to tick off the list and get it done. Is do a lot of the post game stuff, go and capture the free legendary birds, we'll go and try and get Mewtwo as well. And then we can maybe try and get one of the legendary dogs. I think there's a way to work it out. I'm pretty sure the legendary dog that you come up against is the best towards your starter. I think so, because we've got Zippo. I think the legendary dog for us should be Suicune. It could be wrong, it might be the other way round about, and it could be Raikou. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know it's definitely not Entei. I know you need to pick. I think you need to pick Bulbasaur for Entei. But they're really hard to come across. Like I'll tell you right now, I've played multiple hours. Like as you know, I've explained it many a times. I've played a lot of Pokemon in my days, and a lot of Gen 3 Fire Red, Leaf Green, and I've never once came across the legendary dogs. The only time I've ever came across them in a Leaf Green sort of aspect was when I played Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I haven't, obviously they're not in what's the new Switch game? Let's Go. They're not in Let's Go, so obviously I haven't come across them there. But I've came across them in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but I think that's more part of the storyline. You do bump into them. But I've never come across them in Fire Red or Leaf Green, so it'll be interesting to see if I can manage to lure them out at the end. Or we might end up having to end the series without even seeing one, which I wouldn't want to do. I think that would be a bit of a... It's just one of those things. I like to get it checked off list. I like to do everything that you can possibly do in a game, whether that be battle everyone or pick up items that even if I'm not going to use them, I'll still pick them up, or even just highlight that that's exactly where that is. Do you know what I mean? And it's not something that I want to do very often. It's just like miss out on something completely, which I probably already have in this series so far. But let me know what you think about that. If you want to see the post game and stuff like that, like I said, I think I'm going to do it. It's definitely something I want to do. I find that you watch a lot of like YouTubers that play this, and they just end it. They just like once they've finished the Pokemon League, that's it. That's the end of their series there. Like I'd rather go a wee bit above and beyond. I know there's some out there that have done it as well, and try and complete as much as I can. I wouldn't be complete the Pokédex. Let's be honest. I could spend a good long time. There's people out there that have probably never completed the Pokédex on Fire Red and Leaf Green, mostly because you do need both consoles. You need like 2 consoles and you need both versions so you can get all the version exclusives. But the next thing I wanted to go on to was, because we're almost 8 minutes in, that's mad. The next thing I wanted to go on was, it was just a wee bit more about myself. We've had a wee bit of Pokemon chat, a wee bit of what I plan on doing chat. The next one I wanted to sort of talk about was favourite holidays. It's just something that I was racking my brain the other day, noting things down on what to actually speak about in my series, because I feel like I'm running out of things to talk about other than commentating on the thing and then telling you what's actually happening in my life as presently. Do you know what I mean? So I think I'll start doing like wee bits like my favourite such and such, or ask you and get you involved with what your favourite holidays and things like that. So my favourite holiday I've been on so far was actually 2 years ago, just before the lockdown sort of restrictions came about. I really wanted to go away last year, but I didn't. Obviously, the lockdown couldn't. So the year before that, I actually went to Mexico, and Mexico has been the best holiday ever for me. I think it was just something so different out there that I've been to like Disneyland and things like that, Florida, but I was that young. I don't really remember much enough about it. So the fact that I went there myself. If you're American and listening to this, like I know it's just in the coast for you, you just go all the time. I met so many Americans over there, but for British people it is quite a trek. That's what we would say. It's quite far out the way on a flight. So it definitely is. I think it's definitely the best holiday I've ever been on. Full stop. There's just so much to do there. Like the Chichen Itza. What was the wee island called up the top right? I can't remember. I can't remember everything that I'd done, but I tried to cram as much as I could into 2 weeks that I was there, and I think I've done pretty well. If you ask me, I think I've done pretty well. Got quite a lot done. So that then leads me on to my one place that I want to go. Like my favourite place not my favourite place. The place that's like top of my bucket list to go on holiday to, and that's got to be Tokyo, Japan. I would love to go and do like a 3 weeks, 4 weeks sort of thing over there, and just hire a car and go from one side to the other and just drive through and stay in all these weird hotels that they have. But I know they have all traditional hotels, they have the pod hotels. Like, there's so much things over there that actually interest me, and the fact that I'm massively into cars. I think you speak to any car enthusiast in the UK and they'll tell you Japan's on the bucket list at some point. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those places that you've got to go to. So, funnily enough, before lockdown, I'd obviously sold my previous house. I came into a wee bit of money there, made a bit of profit on it, and then I bought the flat that I'm currently in. I had quite a lot of money sitting left over, and I'm terrible. I don't know about you guys, but I'm terrible. Like, money burns a hole in my pocket, and I actually had the money to go on holiday to Japan. I had it sitting there. I was like, right, that's it. I'm not going to spend anymore. I'm going to keep that sitting there. And then before you knew it, I had 4 cars on the go, and four cars on the go, and then I was nowhere near going to be going to Japan. So I'd completely spent all my money, to be honest. I'm quite bad for it. The more you sort of watch and get to know myself, the more you'll notice that the money burns a hole in my pocket. Like, if there's money to be spent and I've got it, I tell you right now, that money will be getting spent. I love a wee funny story here. I was actually playing Pokemon Let's Go. I'm going to end the episode here, but I'm going to give you a wee funny story about this wee section here. I was playing Pokemon Let's Go, and I've got Let's Go... Have I got Let's Go Pikachu? Yeah, I've got Let's Go Pikachu, and here is where I caught my first ever shiny on that game, and it was picking up a Starmie. And obviously, the more stuff you do in that, the more random encounters, not random, because you can see them if you haven't played the game. But I bumped into that many Starmie. I think I was on 123 Staryus in a row, sorry. And then I caught a shiny Staryu, and called it Precious. But that's just some background information. But it's been my first ever proper, like, grinding session to ever catch a shiny Pokemon. Other than that, I've just bumped into them randomly, and it's not like I've ever bumped into that many. I can't think off the top of my head. I feel like when I played like one of the first gen games, like I feel like second gen, I bumped into it. I bumped into a shiny, but I'm rambling on. I can't really remember off the top of my head, so I can't really give you the details. So I'll end the episode here. Like I said, that's a funny wee story about this route here. I think it's Route 16 we're in. Can't really remember off the top of my head, but this is where I caught my first shiny Staryu, which I thought was quite a cool wee story to worth mentioning. So if you like this episode, give us a wee like and subscribe, and if you're watching through Facebook, a wee like and a follow. Check out the description below for all the Instagram, Patreon, Discord, all that sort of stuff. And guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!